By far, one of the most mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy by J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, Disney, and Lucasfilm is, of course, Snoke's species and exactly who he really is and where he really came from in the Star Wars sequel trilogy by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of fans are very excited about is, of course, all the revelations that will be introduced to us, the audience, once we go ahead and see this film come December 19th of this year. And about that, we do know that Eunice Watamo, Richard E. Grant, and other cast members a part of this movie have expressed numerous times that this movie essentially is a I did not see this coming moment. The entirety of the movie is just that. So, with that being said, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very interesting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of a sequence where it's explained that Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren are said to be traveling to a place called the Dark Spire, where they are in search of the shrines of the Sith that is said to be the very depths of the dark side that Kylo is searching for. It's explained that one of the scenes is said to entail a moment in which Kylo Ren meets the Forger, who guides Kylo and his knights to the shrines below the surface of this unknown structure that dates back thousands of years. It's described that one of the scenes is said to involve Kylo Ren coming across a large statue of Supreme Leader Snoke, where the Snoke statue is said to stand around 50 feet high, where the Forger begins to talk very briefly about Snoke's statue, where there is said to be tons of ancient Sith text written on the structure. The Forger explains that Snoke was one of the most powerful Midwoos in the unknown regions that were said to have been born from the Beyond itself and were a creation from the origins of the dark side, and that not only that only around 100 existed, where Snoke was said to believe to be the last remaining Midwoo in the galaxy. Now, it's explained that Snoke was born from the Beyond, hence why he stayed over in the unknown regions, and why Palpatine had great interest in this dark entity that Sidious was able to sense from across the galaxy even during the events of the prequels. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. First things first, I want to go over the name of Snoke's species. They are actually called the Midwoo. Now, what I like about that name is it kind of sounds very Star Wars-y, but at the same exact time, it sounds almost alienated. And what I mean by that is, it sounds like something that we have not heard before in a Star Wars book or novel or anything like that, where it kind of makes you realize that the species names over in the unknown regions are going to be far different than what we are already currently aware of in the mid-rim and, of course, the outer rim and other parts and sections of the galaxy that we are very much in tune with already. Now, I want to go over Snoke's origins. Now, we touched on this lightly a couple of weeks ago that Snoke was actually born from the Beyond. In case you guys are just tuning in right now, let's just fill you in on this real quick, because the Beyond is actually the most powerful force nexus there is in the entire galaxy, and that's going to be explained in great detail in this film by JJ. Now, a Force Nexus is essentially a concentration of the Force, and the fact that Snoke was essentially a creation, along with his species that only consisted of around 100. So they are actually said to be a very rare species, where Snoke was believed to be the last Midwoo in the galaxy before Kylo Ren killed him inside of his throne room. Now, what I like about this as well is that it gives us a bit more of an idea of exactly who Snoke really was, what Snoke was capable of doing if Kylo Ren did not kill him, and exactly what will be explored in the near future in the forms of books, novels, comics, you name it. It's one of the main reasons as to why Snoke stayed over in the unknown regions, because that's where he was essentially born. The Beyond is basically the very center of the unknown regions, and he resided just near the Beyond. It wasn't until he created the First Order and wanted to create Starkiller Base away from the unknown regions that he moved over to other sections of the galaxy and went mobile. You know, the reason as to why he went mobile is because he always wanted an escape route with the headquarters of the First Order by jumping to hyperspace if they were ever in trouble. So that's a very smart move by Snoke, the fact that their headquarters moved from a planet, hence why we've been talking about the abandoned First Order base. to the point where it transitions to where Snoke went mobile on board of a supremacy ship, which was ultimately destroyed by Vice Admiral Holdo, even though I believe that in The Last Jedi, what better sacrifice for Leia would have been than her using the same exact tactic that Holdo did. Just my opinion. So Snoke is a character. We will be learning more about him as, the months roll by and as we head into 2020. In fact, we got that Snoke comic back in September where we learned that Snoke and Kylo trained on the world of Dagobah, and even the Dagobah cave gets destroyed in that comic. That popular cave that we all know and love in The Empire Strikes Back, that gets destroyed in the comic. So it's a very good read, and I suggest that you guys go ahead and check it out. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.